Hey guys, it's Carolina here from Carolina's Crafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do the paper matting video for this style album. It's not going to be the same paper, but with different paper that I'm using, which is actually going to be from Scrap Diva Designs, Hello Sunshine, her new collection, her new paper. So that's what I'm going to be using. I made this pink base with you guys in like when I made this album. So the album base, when I made it in pink because I have a lot of pink paper. So I decided this would be fun for like summer theme. So I decided I'm going to paper mat this. Now the cutting guide will be updated and it will include the paper matting video link. Right now you have the project share, you have the base tutorial, and then you'll also have this paper matting video in the cutting guide, so you guys can purchase the cutting guide, and that way you'll have all the information on how to even like make the base of the album. It literally has like all the measurements and everything, QR codes. This one actually has some pictures in here. So yeah, you could get all of that information. So let's get started, and we're going to paper mat this album. But again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is the album style. And yeah, we're just doing the paper matting video. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So I'm not gonna paper mat the outside of the album with you guys, but I am gonna do the inside. And as you guys can see, I'm doing this one a little bit differently because I had already cut my paper to size, but I'm gonna let you guys know all the measurements as I am putting it together. So I thought that would be like a quicker way to kind of do this, especially because I decided I was going to make two, so I was able to do it this way. And this one's in a dark blue base, and then this one's just in a pink base. All of these pieces that you guys are gonna see in this album, they're, you know, it's all in the cutting guide. I'm gonna do the signatures first, so that's where I'm going to start. And you guys know I just love to paper clip everything, but it'll come together really nicely as we're doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the inside pages. So this is your first page. According to the cutting guide, you have a little pocket here and stuff. So I'm going to do this. This back layer piece is going to be 6 inches wide by 4 1/4 tall. You don't need it to go all the way down because that's going to be covered up with a pocket. So I don't need to waste paper like that. So that's just kind of like the way that I did it, and cut it strategically. Okay, so we're gonna glue down this piece right here. So in the cutting guide, you get the measurements for the base pages. And then for this part, you kind of just have to follow along with the video. It's just too much to then type up all of this and let you guys know like which page is what. Like that gets a little too complicated. So with the paper matting, I just kind of tell you guys in the video. This pocket piece right here, you're gonna need a piece that measures 6 inches by 2 3/8 for the pocket piece according to the cutting guide and the measurements. And I'm just gonna kind of put this in here, and I'm gonna do a little notch. So I just put it inside of my envelope punch board, and I just like to use that to make little notches. Okay, and then we're gonna glue this down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna glue this. And you wanna make sure this doesn't go over that bottom score line. So if you need to check before you burnish that, make sure that that piece closes, which mine does. I'm also going to add in a piece of tape And this just helps whatever I put inside the pocket to slide down easier. Okay, so you just want to like press down here at the bottom, and then like at the top, you don't want to press down like over that. So then you're gonna put glue on here. Okay, and then glue that down and burnish it. Okay, then these pieces, top, bottom, and the outside pieces, these are all the same size. So where do I have my measurement? So they are 6 inches wide by 4 1/8 inches tall. Now you got to place these down a certain way because we do need to add a magnet. So this one I'm not going to glue down just yet, but I am going to glue this one down right after I scallop punch my edges. So I would like a little scallop border on mine, and then same thing here, we're going to scallop punch those. Obviously you're going to do the same thing with this piece that's going to go on top, but we're just not gluing it down yet. And then the same thing with the top pieces. So you're going to need 4 pieces that are 6 inches wide by 4 1/8 inches tall. And then this one, just make sure it's going to be the correct way. So on the bottom here, especially if you have directional paper, like make sure you're punching it where it needs to get punched. Like don't mess that part up. So I could glue this top part, and then I could glue the inside of the bottom part. Not the other pieces just yet because we have to add in the magnet. Okay, so I'm not going to add it up here yet, but I am going to add it on the bottom inside piece. Okay, and then I'm going to add my magnets. So I'm going to use these magnets from Total Element Magnets. This is their 1/2 inch, and I love these. I'm always talking about them because I use them often, and I just really do love their magnets. They're nice and strong. They're thinner than the basic gray magnets, and they are cheaper. So, I mean, that's like a win-win situation right there. So I'm just taking 2 pieces of that magnet, and I need some double-sided tape. Now they do also sell the magnets with adhesive already on them, but I like, depending on how I'm like placing it down, I don't always need the adhesive already on them. So for me, it's like, it's fine. Like I just kind of like put mine down on my own. I'm gonna do a magnet right here. You can do 2 magnets if you're afraid about like the warping of the paper. My last one was fine with just the one, so I'm just gonna do 1 right now. But it was, yeah, totally fine with my last album. But sometimes I do have like the paper curl on the sides, and in those cases, like I prefer to do 2 smaller magnets, like maybe like a 3/8 inch size then instead of the 1/2 inch. But this album in particular with this paper did fine with the 1/2 inch. So I just do it kind of like differently each time, depending on what paper I'm using and stuff. So, okay, so I'm gluing that down, just making sure to not go over where that magnet is directly, but I definitely want to go around it. And of course, you guys could use the code Carolina's Crafts for 10% off your order in case you guys are looking to get some magnets. So now I'm just gonna place this magnet where it goes, and I'm putting another piece of tape on top of it, taking that off, and then I'm gonna fold this closed, and that's gonna keep this part closed for me. Okay, and then I'm ready to glue down the other piece of paper. Yeah, I'm gonna open this up just a little bit just so I can make sure to get everything burnished. And again, put your finger where the magnet is so you don't go over it. You definitely want to go around it, but you don't want to go over it because then you're gonna like make those lines in your paper around the magnet, and we don't want that. Okay, so that is this page right here. Then we're gonna move on to the back. You can see I have my paper again here. I'm doing that like that way with all of this here today. Everything I have the paper already kind of like picked out and laid out. So this piece right here, in my last album I had a cut apart, but this one I don't, so we're just gonna use paper. It's gonna be 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches tall, and it's gonna fit perfectly onto this little mat. Now I am gonna round the corners on this mat. I'm just gonna do a 1/4 inch rounding, or, oh, well, I did 1/2 inch by accident, so I guess we're doing 1/2 inch now. I meant to do the 1/4 inch, but it's okay. Okay, and then, so I have that piece ready to go. I don't want to glue that down just yet because this one does need a magnet. Actually, I think I can glue this down because the magnet's gonna go on, yeah, the inside. So actually, this can get glued down. Okay, then I can also glue down this top layer here. So this piece right here is going to measure 3 3/8 by 6 inches tall. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, and then when you open this up, this back piece is going to be 3 3/8 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall, and I'm going to have it go up here. It's not going to go all the way down. We don't need it to go all the way down. We don't gotta waste paper like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this piece down. And if you guys already made your base according to the cutting guide or the tutorial, then this should be a breeze to then just like, you know, paper mat, especially since I'm giving you the measurements. I mean, I feel like the hardest part is always deciding what paper you're gonna use and where, but that's also why I like to paper clip things. So then this pocket is gonna go here, and your paper mat layer for that is going to be 3 1/4 inches wide by 2 3/8 inches tall. Now I am also going to use my envelope punch board. So I'm just gonna line up my paper at the top there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and eyeball where that center is and punch that. I just like to do the little notches for my pockets. I don't always do them, but I generally do like to do them. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burnish that. And then just some glue at the bottom here. And then this is gonna go inside here. Now when you do this, don't go over this score line. You still need this part to close. So if you need to test it before you burnish it, then do that. But I did generally like make it smaller so that this would fit no problem. Yeah. So if you see like a little squiggly in the cutting guide, it's usually like approximately that amount, and it's usually a little bit less. Okay, so that is there, and just gonna take some more tape and put that down. Okay, just making sure I had enough space to be able to do that, which I do. And then I'm gonna glue the sides. I should be using my smaller, like thinner glue for these pockets though, because I feel like I'm definitely putting on a little bit too much glue. I could see like it seeping out at the top here. And there's some more. And then the other side. Okay, just want to make sure it's still going to open. Okay. All right, and then this back piece, this is going to measure 6 by 6 inches. Now we're going to glue this down together with this one. Now this one, you're going to kind of like eyeball where you want this to go, and that'll determine the size of your piece that's going to go on the back here. So yeah, just kind of figure out where you want it to go. And I'm thinking something like, I kind of want it like to go, you know, like halfway-ish. And I want to leave this open to have space for like a little tuck or a little tag. So I'm going to put glue down on the bottom here, on the top here, and then down the center. So actually, let me get my thinner glue for this. Okay, so I'm going to put this down where I think it should be going. So I'm going to put glue here. Like I said, top, bottom, and then down here. Now I might need some more glue. I mean, I did a pretty good job. Okay, so I'm just gonna place this down here, and I'm thinking something like that. So kind of like in the center, right? I mean, that's maybe a little off. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna burnish that. And you go open this up and burnish here as well. So you definitely wanna like do that part first before you cut this piece, because now you have to measure. So I'm gonna need a piece that measures 1.5, because I could see from the end here to here is 1 5/8. So I'm just gonna do an 1/8 smaller, so 1.5. and then the height is going to be 4.5. So 1.5 by 4.5 is the piece that I need. And I am going to be just using some scraps that I have. So I'm going to cut down this piece to size. Yeah, I think I want 1.5, right? Well, I'm going to cut this straight up. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit bigger. I'm going to try the 1 5/8 because I feel like I don't want that much of a border by 4.5. So let me just see, because I kind of want it like, okay, that's a little too big. Okay. So let me do one smaller than 1 5/8, but one larger than 1.5. And I think that's gonna work better because I kind of want the border on one side and not the other. Okay, well that works. And because I did 1/2 inch before, we gotta do 1/2 inch here. Oh, sorry. I just hit my phone by accident. Okay, get the little pieces out of the way. All right, so this is gonna go here, but before I glue that down, I'm gonna do another 1/2 inch magnet right here. I think I'm gonna be using 1/2 inch throughout this whole album. I'm not entirely sure at this moment, but I think it will be 1/2 inch throughout this album. But anyway, so I'm going to put down a piece of tape like in the center. That's not really in the center, but that's okay. We could just move my piece up a little higher. So we'll do something like that. And then you could go ahead and glue this piece down. Okay, and then you're just gonna make sure to burnish that. Okay, and then you're just gonna take that other piece, the layering piece on top, and just snap it in place and then put another piece of tape over it and peel off the top layer, and then you're just gonna get this stuck down on the other side. Okay, so that one is gonna go right there. Okay, and this is my 6x6 piece that I am gluing down now. Where's my magnet? Right here. So I'm just putting my finger over the magnet just so I don't like burnish over it. And I'm just gently putting it in there, like I'm not pressing down firmly. Okay, all right, so there is my first signature. Now we're gonna do the second signature here. Now this piece here, I don't have a measurement for this because I literally just took like a scrap piece and put it on here, and then just kind of layered this up top and then went back and then I cut it off. So this is like a great way to use that as a guide and trace it, and then you could trace it exactly and then just cut off a sliver on the side and a sliver off the bottom, and you should have a perfect piece. So just use whatever like scrap you have for that piece. And then for this one, you need something that's going to be 6 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. Now the reason this one is so much taller than all the other ones is because there's only a little bit of space right down here, and you want that covered up. So you want the paper like hidden behind it so it doesn't, you know, it doesn't look short that way. So that's why that's like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and glue this piece down first. My paper clips on the other side are sometimes a pain in the butt when I am doing this, because like I feel like now it's like in the way. So I'm just gonna take some of my paper clips off here. I know where those pieces need to go, so that way I can really burnish this without the paper clips getting in the way on the other side. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this piece, I'm gonna glue that down. And I forgot to mention, I'm using my Bearly Art Glue. That's the glue that I always use pretty much in every single project. That's the glue that you guys see. So they're both Bearly Art, just different tops, and the tops come with the glue. So you either have the larger one or the smaller one. And I just like it. So I just got 2 separate ones so that I could have one for each rather than having to change the tip. I mean, you can, but I just find this a little bit easier. And you guys could use the code Carolina for 10% off your order if you guys would like to get some Bearly Art Glue as well. I used to use Art Glitter Glue, but Bearly Art Glue is a little bit cheaper, and to me it's the same exact like thing. I think it takes like maybe like 2 seconds longer to dry, but that's not an issue for me because I like to be able to place my paper exactly where I want it, and giving me that extra time allows me to still move it around if I don't like the placement. So it's no biggie for me. But yeah, so I use that, and you guys can find all that information down below. I'll have it linked. So I'm putting down this pocket now, and I'm trying to make sure I didn't get any there. And you want to just glue this down. Now I did just glue the bottom part because I do want to add in a piece of tape. I know I'm going to have to cut the tape because this is at like an angle here. All right, so this is going to go here. Now this angle doesn't need to be perfect or anything, so I'm just kind of cutting off a sliver, and I'm going to flip it just to make sure it fits, which it does, and that's perfectly fine. All right, so now I'm going to just put that down here, and then I'm gonna glue these side pieces. Okay, so then on the back side, we are going to have a piece on the back here that's going to be 6 by 6. Yep. Okay, and then a piece here. Now I do have this backwards because I don't want a magnet here. Let me try to erase that. Okay, so I'm going to erase this right here. Oh, that is leaving. a little bit of a mark. I think I just wrote it down too hard. So I'm gonna probably, I guess, flip this to this side. But the piece that's gonna go on top of this is gonna measure 5 3/8 inches long by 5 3/4 inches tall. Yeah, I think that's the same as the cutting guide. Let me just double check. Okay, yes, that is correct. So 5 3/8 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. I am going to punch these corners and make them like scalloped. Okay, that erased much better. The other one I just wrote too hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna flip this. This is gonna go this way. It is the same, but this is going to be my back now, and then this will get matted with something else. I don't have the paper for that just yet because I need to see what paper I have left, but you could use a white cardstock on the inside here. You could do another pattern paper if you like. I'm probably gonna do a white cardstock, or in here maybe I'll do like a coral colored one. I'm not sure. I might just do white. But anyway, so that top layer is gonna go right here. And again, I just need to scallop my corners. So scallop and scallop. And I'll have this link down below as well. It's the scallop stub punch. I know Amazon sells that, so I'll link that down below. But I am going to, well, I'm gonna put down a magnet here first before I even put this down. So we're gonna use another 1/2 inch magnet. Can you guys see I fly through magnets with the amount of albums that I make? I fly through them. I mean, maybe I don't fly through them. Definitely a lot better than what it used to be before. Especially since these like magnets come in like a larger pack. I think I actually have 2 packs here. But they do come in a larger pack, so I don't feel like I'm flying through them as fast. And they're cheaper, like I said, than the basic gray. So to me, it is totally worth it. Okay, so I'm putting that magnet here. And then I'm just going to glue this right on top. And the inside piece is going to be the same size as this outside piece. I just don't have it in front of me because I haven't decided if I'm doing like a coral or a white or pattern paper. Probably not pattern paper though, but I am thinking white. I just have to see if the like white matches this paper or if this is like a different shade of white. I have to just like kind of see, but yeah, haven't done that yet. And I realized in my other album I haven't done that yet either. Okay, so then for this piece, this is gonna go inside here, inside this like pocket insert page. So you're gonna line this up how you want it, like in the center, and then you're gonna put the magnet on here, let that snap into place, put a piece of tape over it, and take the tape off. And now just double check you have it going where you want it to go. Okay, and then we're gonna lift that up, and now I could place this piece down, which is my 6 by 6. Okay, and that's just gonna snap into place. All right, so now we're ready for our third signature here. And for this one, we're gonna start from the back. So let me just take that paper clip off. Okay, actually, I need to put down this piece first. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue down this piece on that little hinge, and I want to make sure I'm getting it in the center with like this top piece. And that looks like the center, right? I think that's good. All right, so I'm just gonna burnish that. And then I'm gonna work from the back here. So this back round piece is going to be 6 by 6. So we're gonna go ahead and glue that down. I'm also gonna take out this other paper clip here on the other side. All right, so 6 by 6. Almost glued that down the wrong way. So the waves would have been like upside down. Okay, so there's that piece. Then the second waterfall piece here, this one's gonna measure 5 inches wide by 5 1/8 inches tall. Okay, and then this part, this is where we need to do some other work here. So I know like that this piece is gonna go on top. This is gonna measure 4 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. So I know that's gonna go on top, but that's not the issue here. Now we need something that's gonna keep this closed. So I think in the last one I did like a little like landscape cut apart. This one I have a little ephemera piece from the collection that says "You Are Sunshine." So I think this one's gonna go right here. And then I just layered this on top of to a pattern paper and just cut that out. So I want this to be my back piece, right? Just like that. Nope, I don't want that piece. I want the green piece to be my back. So this is gonna look just like that, and they're gonna get stuck together on here. But before I even do that, I need pieces for this belly band. So for the belly band, I need 2 pieces that measure 1/2 inch by 4 3/8 inches tall. So I have these 2. So this one's gonna go here, and I'm gonna line this up all the way at the bottom, okay? Because it sticks up a little bit at the top, but that doesn't matter because it's gonna get covered up. Or like, there's like a little empty space is what I'm trying to say. And this, yeah, I think I could just glue that down right now. All right, so I'm gonna glue this. Actually, I could do both sides already, I think. think. Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna glue this bottom piece, or the inner piece. I think I had them slightly different measurements, but anyway, I do know you need by 4 3/8. So let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure this one I just cut a little too short. Yeah, I just cut that one a little bit too short. So if you did by 4 3/8, yours should reach the top of that, because my other piece is correct. So that's fine. I gave you guys the right measurements. Okay, so now I'm going to put down this piece right here. Yeah, figure out where I want it to go, like in the center. I'm just gonna glue, so I'm putting my finger there and I'm just gonna glue all of this. And then I want to make sure I have this at the bottom here. Okay, and then I'm gonna open that up and I'm gonna add in another magnet in here. So I'm just grabbing another 2 magnets. And I'm gonna put it right here. And where's my other piece that's going on top of that? Where did I just put it? Oh, right here. So then this is gonna get glued down here, and you want it to match up as best as possible. So make sure you're putting your piece in the right direction. Especially if you have like a piece like I do. If you have like obviously a rectangle, that'll be a little bit easier, but mine, I used the ephemera piece to cut out my background piece. And I am adding a backing here just because that's going to make this even sturdier, because it's just like ephemera and 2 pieces stuck together, especially on the sides. That's why I needed to add a little back piece to mine. Okay, and then that's gonna go right there. So I'm just gonna attach the other magnet piece right down there. Let that snap into place, and then add a piece of tape on top of that. Okay, press that down so we know where that's gonna go. And then this is just gonna get glued down right on top of that now. I think I want it this way. Okay, and so that's gonna go just like that. And then the back side, you're gonna need a piece that measures 6 inches by 5 inches tall. This is what my piece is going to be. And then you have your other pocket piece, and again, for this one, just line it up on like a scrap piece of paper or whatever, cut it out, and then cut off a little sliver on 2 sides, and you should have a piece that fits perfectly on here. That's just kind of like what I did. So I'm gonna put down this piece here. Okay, so then I'm gonna glue down this piece onto my pocket here. I wanna make sure to get the edges, so just switch to my thinner glue. Like I wanna get the edges without glue seeping out, is what the goal is. And I have time to like move the glue or move the paper, I guess, before I stick it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue this down here, starting off with just that bottom piece. And then just the tape. That one will fit just fine without any cutting needed. And then I can glue the sides down. Okay, so now I have my 3 signatures done, and now we just got to do the inside, front, and back covers. Okay, and then last but not least, we're gonna do the inside, front, and back covers. I'm not gonna do the actual covers, but this piece right here would be your cover piece measurement. If you want to do like a double layer like I usually do, like I would do that in gold and then do like another 1/8 inch smaller for the next piece, but sometimes it also literally depends on like what paper sizes I have, so I kind of just like figure it out as I go. But anyway, this piece right here, I am going to attach this. Hold on. So this is gonna get attached here, but before I do that, let me just scallop punch the corners, and then I'm gonna scallop punch this too. This is my front piece, and this measures 5 5/8 inches by 6 inches tall. So that's that. And you're gonna need 2 pieces like that because you need one for the inside here, and I'm gonna have this one go on the inside. So I need a scallop punch this as well. Okay. But before I even like glue those on, I gotta put this down. I like stepped away to have dinner for a little bit, and the top got dried up a little bit, which is okay, no biggie. All right, so I'm just gonna attach this right here. Just like that. Make sure that opens up, and go ahead and burnish it. I also am gonna add, well, I could add this piece right now because my magnet's gonna go on the inside. Okay. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm gonna add my magnets. So I'm just grabbing another 2 of these 1/2-inch magnets. I think I did one on my last album. Let me just double check. Yeah. So I did one. But like I said, if you're afraid about the pieces like curling, because sometimes they do that if you have one magnet, then put 2 smaller ones instead. That is not the middle. Nope, I don't want that. Okay, so I got that piece down, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this down. Okay, and then this piece right here, this measures 6 3/8 by 6 3/8 because my covers are 6 1/2. So that's what this piece measures, and we're just gonna get that glued down. Oh no, don't want to glue that down just yet. I want to attach the other magnet piece. Almost forgot. Okay. So get that attached. And now I'm ready to put this guy down. So like I said, if you're doing this on like your cover piece would also be 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. But if you're gonna double layer, then like my cover piece, for example, might be in gold or silver or whatever color I decide to do. And then another layered piece on the inside, which then would be 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So it depends if you're double layering or not for your cover. And actually, when I made my other album, because I think I had like smaller pages, I double layered inside here too, but this time I had enough paper to be able to do like a full sheet there. And I'll show you guys how to attach the hinges in just a second after I do this last page. Okay, so this piece, this is the inner back cover. So here, this is like my my little like library pocket piece. So I'm gonna take this piece right here. This pocket piece is 3 3/8 inches by 2 3/8 inches tall. So I am gonna punch a hole, well, a little notch in it, not a hole. I mean, technically, I guess it's a hole, but just not round. It's a little notch. So I'm just gonna punch that in here. Okay, this piece is gonna be a photo mat. So let me put that aside. All right, so I'm gonna glue this Okay, so I'm gonna glue that to this pocket. And then the top part of this pocket is gonna get this piece right here, and this measures 3 3/8 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. And that's just gonna go right there. I'm just gonna erase this bottom part here because that's not getting covered up by the paper. And in case I add something in there, I don't want that ink to rub off over time. Not ink, but like pencil. You know how like pencil smudges sometimes? So I just didn't want that to stay there. But this part's gonna get covered up. Okay. Okay, so this next piece, well, this piece I would do usually next, but I want to make sure that when I glue this down, I need to like do like a dry fit first before I do that. So I'm also gonna stick this down closed, just right here, and close up my library pocket on the sides. Got that closed up. So like I said, this is gonna go behind that, but I want to do a dry fit after I glue that down, just to make sure. So then this piece is the same as the last one, and you're gonna have 2 pieces, one for the outside, one for the inner side. That measures 5 5/8 by 6 inches. That is the same as the front cover, the inner front cover. But I do need to scallop these pieces as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and scallop punch this, and then scallop punch this, and then I'm gonna have the pink flamingos on the inside, so they're gonna go like that. So then scallop punch this side. And I could see this is peeling up a little bit, which doesn't really matter once I add my tape, but I'm gonna glue that anyway. Or once I add, you know, my other layers, it's not really gonna matter. Anyway, so I'm adding in glue here for this flap. Is that, I don't know if that's pencil right here on the edge. I mean, a lot of it came off, so maybe, I don't know what that was. Okay. Then, well, I could add this piece right here. Okay, so that's gonna get glued down right here. Okay, and then I could do the magnet on the inside there. So I'm just gonna grab 2 more. These are the last magnets that are gonna be going in my book. I know there's a lot of magnets in here. All right, so I'm gonna like put this in the center. Oh my God, there's a fruit fly right in front of me. I don't like it. Stop it. Oh my goodness, I missed. Oh, did you guys just see it in front of the camera? I think I missed again. I don't like those. Okay, anyway, so I have my magnet right there, and I said on the inside part I would have this pink flamingo. So I'm gonna glue this down. Why is there a fruit fly in here though? I don't think I've ever had a fruit fly in here before. If there were fruit flies, they would normally stay in the kitchen. I don't know why I have one in my craft room. And like I do a pretty good job of like trying to get rid of fruit flies. I just leave out like some apple cider vinegar, and then you cover it with plastic wrap. Like put it in a cup, like apple cider vinegar in a cup, cover it with plastic wrap and poke some holes in it, and they know how to like get in the cup. And they're like attracted to apple cider vinegar, but they can't really like get out, and so they die in there. So I mean has been very effective for me all the time. So that's my little trick. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that there after I add in my other magnet. Okay, go ahead and close that. And then this is gonna go right here. And what I'm doing to this back one, you could easily duplicate and do on that front piece as well, but this is just, you know, how I'm doing it. But you could, because I have like that library pocket and stuff, you could do that same thing on the front piece and like right here. Or you could add in like a little pocket on the side using your scraps, or you could do the library pocket if you'd like. You could do a belly band, like you could, or you could just add in a photo there, however you would like to do your album. But this is just like the design that I had come up with when I was using scraps of paper when I first designed it. Okay, so this is gonna go here now, and so I'm just gonna put some glue on the top and bottom of this pocket, and I'm doing like a little strip of glue. And obviously if your glue strip is thicker here, the matte piece that's supposed to go on the inside here may not fit, and then you would just have to cut down that mat a little bit. Okay, so I'm just getting that stuck down. Okay, this is where I need to do a dry fit. So this piece, your layering pieces are going to be 4 5/8 by 4 5/8. I had changed all the measurements so that they would be for the pattern paper, which means that this was originally, I want to say like 4 3/4, I think. Yeah, it would have been 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 for this actual size. But the paper matting, yeah, the paper matting is 4 5/8 by 4 5/8. So I am going to round these corners. I want to do my 1/4 inch. Let's not mess up this time. So we'll do the 1/4 inch chomp in. And I have 2 pieces here. So one of them I'm going to use as obviously the first top piece. And then I am also going to have a white mat on the inside. So I guess I will do white on that other piece that I was kind of like trying to decide on. I think I am going to do white because this is white. I didn't even like think about that right now. Okay, so I'm just going to get this stuck down. Oh, almost had this upside down. I mean, it is upside down, but it's a good thing that I could just turn this whichever way. And then this piece here, and I think I'm just gonna erase that just in case it decides to shine through the white. Isn't this paper, you guys, so cute, from Scrap Diva Designs? I love it. I also love how her paper feels. Like, it's just like so smooth. It doesn't feel like so papery. It feels like it's got like a gloss on top of it, but it's also like not super glossy at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, I really love it. I love the feel of her paper. Okay. So this is gonna go right here. And like I said, you could do the same thing on this inside front cover as well. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our hinges, or our signatures rather. So this is that third signature. So I'm just gonna start off here. I'm gonna peel back some tape, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach it. Okay, just like so. And then I'm gonna peel back the rest of that tape, but I do wanna go in a little bit and add in some glue before that gets stuck down. Okay, and notice how I'm like going a little farther from that center because it just like helps this like fold even easier. And I make my albums kind of like wide enough where they're not gonna stick out on the edge there. Okay, and then the same thing with this back side. So I'm just gonna grab this pokey tool to help me get that tape off. And then before that gets stuck down, I am just gonna reinforce it with some glue. Okay, then I'm gonna do the second signature. This one I'm gonna be a little bit more careful with. Well, actually, yeah, I could still reinforce this with glue, but I do know like I have this piece on the inside. Actually, let me just take that out just in case. I don't want to get glue on that. So this one's gonna go like this. So again, I'm gonna peel back some tape. Make sure you're gonna attach this on that little pocket piece of the signature. And I'm just kind of lining it up with the other one. Okay, and then the same thing on this side. Okay, and now I could put back this piece. Now this is the piece that I still need to add in a white mat to, but everything else for this is done. And then my first piece, now this one I'm just gonna flip. It's easier for me to do on this side now. Just make sure you get it on that pocket page. Okay. way. And then this last one, so I'm just gonna flip this because it's easier this way. And this one I'm just gonna open up because then it's closer to the hinge, because this is the part that is attached to the hinge. All right, so that is this album, you guys. So I'm gonna finish this up and do the covers and stuff. I will share this once I do all the other elements and like fill up the pockets and everything also. I'll share in another project share video, but I did want to just get this paper matting video done for you guys. And as a reminder, this is the album base tutorial that we have here. So the album base was from this album, the Take Time to Breathe and Grow mini album. This is available in my coffee shop for the cutting guide, or the tutorial is available as well. I could just have that link down below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it took me a hot minute to get that done, but we did it. I just needed to like find the right paper that I wanted to use with a pink base. Like a pink base is not the same as just using a black base. I feel like you definitely need a certain kind of paper, but I like how it turned out with this summer theme. I think it looks really pretty and summery. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next crafty video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.